Hello, Bio One classes, Miss Foltz. We're going to be talking about enzymes today. First thing we need to know is that enzymes have two basic roles. An enzyme can break something apart, so take something that was a big molecule and break it into two separate molecules. Okay, so that's supposed to be a rectangle. There we go. Or it can put things together. So it's going to move the opposite way and take these two and move it back into something that's bigger. So an enzyme can either break things apart or put things together. And this is really important in our bodies. So, for example, when you eat food, we're going to break that food down into little parts. What does that? Enzymes. Enzymes break our food down into little parts so it can be absorbed and sent into the bloodstream to our cells. But once it gets to our cells, sometimes we might want to build things with those materials from the food that we ate. What's going to build those molecules into things like hair or add on to bone or strengthen muscle? So that's going to be enzymes again. So enzymes are incredibly important. Another thing that's really important is that enzymes are going to do something, they're going to lower our reaction energy for something to occur. So if you think about a reaction on a graph, in order for the reaction to occur, we have to raise the energy level a little bit. So then we have to get some energy. We have to, if we're starting here, we got to raise the energy a little bit in order for the reaction to occur. Well, what an enzyme does is an enzyme still has that same shape, but it's lower. So if this is what that graph might look like for an enzyme, notice the amount of energy I need is way down here. There's a big difference between these two. So let's say the original reaction took 100 joules of energy. Joules is just a measurement that we use or a unit we use for energy. And down here with the enzyme, we only need 20 joules of energy. Well, what that means is that I can actually do this reaction 5 times with the same amount of energy it would have taken for just one time without the enzyme. And this is just an example. They lower it quite a bit, so much so that without enzymes, we wouldn't actually be alive because reactions would take far too long to occur. Okay, so let's look at the structure of an enzyme. I always like to draw my enzymes kind of like a little Pac-Man dude. And then what's going in, what the enzyme is working on, what it's breaking apart or putting together, like we talked about over here, is called a substrate. The substrate, you'll notice, has a similar shape the enzyme, so it fits inside. This little spot inside the enzyme that it's fitting into is called an active site. So the active site is the area that the enzyme fits into with the substrate. It's where they connect together. So very realistically speaking, here's my enzyme dude. Again, little Pac-Man. Okay, here's my substrate. It fits into that active site. And then the enzyme and the substrate are going to go through a little change, and that's going to allow the enzyme to break that substrate apart. So now I've got a little part that looks like this, and now I have a little part that looks like this. Okay, so I've broken this substrate down into two little pieces. Okay, so I did rule number one, I broke something apart. The cool thing is that this enzyme right here can do that to multiple substrates. So if I had the substrates lined up right here in a row, literally just like Pac-Man, he could go through and break apart each one of these down into little pieces. That's because enzymes can recycle. They can be used over and over and over again. They aren't used up in the reaction. So my body doesn't have to make a bunch of enzymes. Having a few number of enzymes around is useful because that enzyme could be used for multiple reactions. Okay. But again, why do I need them so much? Right back here, because we're going to lower the energy that we need. We're going to break things apart. We're going to put things together. We're going to build things for the body. We're going to break down food. And we're going to do all of it while lowering the energy. And this is why enzymes are so important because they do so many things inside of our body. So hopefully this helps you understand enzymes and how they work. If you have any more questions on this, there's lots of good videos to look for on YouTube. You can also hit me during my office hours or just send me an email. We can set up a one-on-one meeting. All right, Bio One kids, have a good day.